Evening all. So, further on from the first video we did on stealth mechanics and cold running and all that sort of stuff, silent running. I keep calling it cold running, silent running. Tim and I went back in and carried on doing a little bit more investigation about how range affects how easily you're detected. And it's probably not surprising what the findings are, but we'll go over it anyway, just to make it absolutely clear and close down the discussion about how stealth can be used in the game and how the mechanics of it works. So, without further ado, we join Tim and I just in a quiet bit of space. We're at about 1400 metres range. The idea being Tim's going to slowly close in on me under different states of power settings to see at what point I change on the radar. So we're starting off with everything kind of just powered up and 1400 metres apart.
Forward very slowly. 33 metres per second. Okay, I've got you as contact, and you are about 1262 metres ahead of me.
Yeah, I've got you at 1257. So am I a fully resolved contact?
Yes, fully resolved, yeah.
Okay, so can you go back any and I become a become a vague contact as soon as you move back a bit, yeah?
Okay, 1300, 1400, like I've still got you as a contact. There you go. That's just over 1400. You become an unresolved.
Right. Okay. Okay.
So what we've basically got here is that up to as you would approach up to 1400 metres, you're a kind of an unresolved contact, one of these vague dots, and then at 1400 you become resolved. But at the moment we're in a very kind of loud state. You know, our signature, we've not done anything to get our signature down.
Let me just check my systems here. What have I got powered up? So I'm everything on apart from cargo hatch.
Okay.
So what I'll do is what do we want to do? Do we want to go down, see with me more quieter? If you don't resolve me quite so close, I guess. So I'll...
Yep.
At first, let's see if... Well, actually, we won't bother doing radiators because Frontier have basically said that was a system that made it on the menu that shouldn't be on there. It's a bit of a bug. So we'll ignore radiators for now. Turning them off doesn't actually seem to achieve anything on my power usage stats.
No.
So I turn them off and nothing really changes anyway. So we'll leave radiators on, I guess, for now. So I'm going to turn my drives off, but I'm going to keep my shields on. See if we can stay cold with shields still up. So that's my drives off. Heat is now dropping, and it will go to 0, I think, at this pace. And I think you're about to lose me.
There, yeah.
I'm at 1%.
Still there.
So I've still got a little bit of heat, 1% of heat.
You're jumping around more now.
Turned off power distribution. See if that helps get me down anymore. Still resolved. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go for shields off then.
Okay, now you're gone.
Right, okay. So it would seem that shields do contribute, even irrespective of heat. Shields are maybe a bit like engines. If you've got shields on and or engines on, then that's a big indicator of where you are.
Yeah.
So
So this echoes what we saw in part 1 really with engines, which is that you can be fully cold, your power usage can be 0, but with your shields on, just like with your engines on or your weapons deployed, it's impossible for you to go completely dark. So there's obviously some signature output is always enough with either engines or shields or your weapons out to make you a noticeable target, if you like. So that's fine. So we'll go with turning shields off then for now.
Let me put power distribution back on. So now I've got cargo hatch off, shield gen off, drives off. I'm going to power up drives, and that should get me back on the list.
Yeah, straight on as an unidentified force.
Okay, and drives off and shields on. Presumably that also keeps me quite
yeah, he's still there.
Marked. Okay. Let me turn those shields back off then.
Okay, that's you gone. It is quite interesting actually, so when you turn your shields off, it's obvious. It's a big kind of flare around the ship. Basically similar to when you lose your shields in combat.
Yeah, you get that big blue kind of shell kind of disappear. Which makes sense, I suppose, yeah. Okay, so at the moment then you should have me completely dark, yeah? Not on sight at all. So, close in on me and see if I resolve at any point, even fully cold like this. So just move slowly towards me and see at what point you resolve me. In any level of contact.
Yeah.
$1,200, 1,100, 1,000, 900, 800, 700.
Okay, yeah.
So at 700 meters, I am now what? Evade contact?
Yeah, you have now evade contact. Yeah.
Okay, keep coming in then and see if you ever resolve me fully. $400 meters. 300.
Evade contact. I'm about to go right underneath you.
Yeah.
I'm going to park right underneath.
Okay, and so I'm just a vague target.
Okay, now I've resolved you. So I'm right underneath.
Right.
And you're now a target.
So you've got to be pretty close to be able to lock onto me there, basically.
Yeah, so I'm what? It's 35 meters.
Yeah, I can hear you.
So we can see when I am fully cold, when I'm as cold as I can get, I've got all my systems turned off. You have to get very close to get a positive lock, kind of to the 30-40 metre border. Okay, so we're going to move Tim all the way back out to 1,300 metres or so, and repeat that with some systems powered up.
Okay, right, so we're at 1,300. I'm going to power up. Let's see. Power up drives then. I think drives would be the thing that would be very useful to have.
So now you're a vague contact.
Okay, so come forward, and when do I become, a verified contact? You're at 800 meters.
Okay, still vague contact.
700 coming up.
Yeah.
So 700 again.
I've got you locked on, say 712 meters. I've got you at.
I've got you at 707 meters.
So this isn't surprising. So now I'm kind of resolved at 700 meters because I'm putting out a bit more heat. I'm not trying to suggest that 700 meters is a fixed range where everybody suddenly gets resolved. It's going to be dependent on probably a lot of things that we're not going to be told about, but your heat output, the quality of the sensors of the other ship, natural stealth of maybe your ship, I don't know. but you know, there's some variables there clearly.
View.
Yeah, I've got you at 1450. So.
Okay. So what I'm doing is I've got my cargo hatch off, but then I'll never really use that. So I'm not going to power anything off. I'm literally just going to go cold running, and then you start your coming forward and seeing when you can resolve.
Target shields offline.
There we go. I am silent running.
Okay.
So
now I've made contact, so I'll start moving forward.
got you 1,000 meters.
Yeah, it's still vague. And one's our crap.
700 meters coming up.
Yeah, still a vague contact.
Good.
Still a vague contact, and you're obviously clearly defined now.
300 meters.
Okay.
250.
Okay. You're now a fully resolved contact at
224. I've got you at.
Yeah, I think it was about 300 meters actually before I reacted. So let me.
Yeah. Okay.
I back up to your vague and then try and sneak forward a bit.
I'm gonna spin around so you can get a nice view of my radiators coming on.
Yeah.
We'll show everybody what happens when I deploy heatsink. So I'm going to drop one there just to get my heat down.
Okay, go on in.
So that's
contact. Yeah.
brought me down to 1%, so I've certainly not disappeared. I'm coming up to 3, 4. Okay.
Right. So your vague contact, your heat sink's gone.
So
Move
heat sink
forward.
doesn't really make any difference. It's just obviously to keep me from going into damage, really. But okay. Okay, so I'll power it back up now.
Hang on. I was going to see if I can get this back down to 300 meters, or whatever it was.
I've got you at 280,
There you go.
275.
Yeah, 275. Okay. Yeah, about
Cool.
270. Also, you resolve silent running.
Off.
It's interesting when you're
Coming out
head on
silent
to me, I can see you quite clearly. When you're vertically to me, sort of like flat on to me, like you are now,
Like I am now, yeah.
really difficult to see.
Interesting.
You're quite black.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Interesting stuff. So now we've got that down to 300 meters now. So with silent running, an unresolved contact to 300 meters before I get fully resolved. So it's clearly silent running is reducing the range at which you can be locked onto quite considerably, by more than double off the 700 meters before. Okay, so the next thing we did just to finish up was we kind of had a little bit of a game where I super cruised in to the asteroid belt, and Tim was going to try and hide from me, keep as cold or as silent, as stealthy as he could, and could I find him, not knowing where he was. Didn't quite go to plan, but I think it's still quite interesting to see because it was quite cool. So let's go and have a look.
So I'm 0.3 light seconds out, and the idea here is that I'm going to drop into the system. Tim is hiding dark, and he's going to try and ambush me. So the idea is you can get into a position, tactical advantage over me, and then we'll call the game a winner, I guess. 10,000 kilometers out. 5,000. 2,000. And I'm dropping. Right then, where are all you nasty ambush people? You don't have to tell me anything, but I'll just call out what I can see. So I've got 4 vague contacts. I'm going to head towards the nav point. I've just heard something there. And that was you right on an asteroid, yeah. Wow. Nice. Nice.
My shields. I was trying to
That
get
is very cool,
was at 1% because I had my weapons on.
I'll tell you what gave it away, mate, was I could hear you the noise of whatever you just powered down.
Yeah, it's my shields.
You're also just in the sun for me, but I tell you what, as the shade comes over you now, you are black. So, you're not quite fully covered by the shade on the asteroid, but you are now. That's very cool. Yeah, you are. You are impossible to spot apart from 2 dim blue lights from your engines. If people was to see you from the right side, you know.
Yeah.
Have you actually got your gear down and you landed on that?
I was. Yeah. Let me drop my gear and then you can. Now, see, the problem is this. I picked this one because it's not moving.
Yeah, yeah. Now I can see you firing your thrusters and whatnot. It's quite.
Yeah, now it's because I haven't got my shields up, it's frying my. Yep.
Very cool.
So I did manage to find him, but wasn't quite how I intended the test working. But interesting, you know, just shutting down your shields is quite a bit of a giveaway as to where you are. But you can see that if it wasn't for that, I'd have probably flown straight past him. And if the shadows are in the right place, you know, you can be completely invisible on an asteroid. So it was very cool from that perspective. So, little diagram to sum up those ranges that we just saw. Now again, I'm not saying that these ranges are exact, but you know, you've got the eagle there is Tim, the sidewinder is me. Generally, when we're running hot, I start resolving at 1400 meters. Fully resolved at 700. Shutting drives off or shields off will make you disappear, but in terms of shutting your drives off just to keep you cool but keeping your shields powered up, I'm completely invisible off the radar up to 700 meters. I'm then an unresolved target all the way up to practically 35 meters. Before you can get a lock on me. So basically, if you are looking to be completely stealthed, chances are, unless anybody gets within 700 meters of you, they're not going to know you're there, unless they can visually spot you. And then on silent running, that breakpoint came down to 300 meters before I was resolved. So yeah, visible at about 1500 meters as an unresolved contact, and then 300 meters before you're resolved. So to summarise then, I think we've gone over mechanics enough now. We know it's going to potentially change. We're in Premium Beta 2 at the moment, and Standard Beta is just down the road, only a week or so away. We know that if you want to go completely off the radar, it is possible. You need to iService, you need to get your temperature right down, and you need to turn your engines off and your shields off, and then you can kind of hide yourself. Whether that's the long term, how it will work, we're playing this just in a Sidewinder. I don't know how other ships will work. It's more than likely that all the final ships in the game will all have different mechanics in how they work. Maybe some are naturally more stealthy than others. So it's kind of all out for change, really. But at least we do know that that range has a part to play in it, and that depending on your heat output, you become harder to lock onto and detect the further away you are. So it gives you that kind of chance. And we also know that silent running will keep you pretty unresolved as a target right up to point blank range. So one of the main reasons for silent running is really to break weapons lock and give you give your opponent an inability to lock his gimbaled weapons on you, or missiles, or so on and so forth. It doesn't really stop them from knowing that you're there. You'll still be a contact on the radar, but one of these vague contacts, as we call it. So you know, it's not really out and out stealth. It's just an evasive tactic, I guess. So on that note, we shall see you next time. Have fun out there, and see you later, Commanders. Adios.